As my name is One the King himself, Ngabuli Joe. I'll be greeting you in different languages, different countries, and tonight on my right, is this right, left?
I think I'm on your left.
On my left.
There we go.
Sometimes it's to disturb me a little bit. So what's up? Welcome to Uganda.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
How has it been?
Oh, it's been absolutely beautiful. This is my first time on the continent of Africa, and also my first time in Uganda, and this truly is the pearl of Africa. I truly believe that.
Have you ever thought about coming into the country, in such a country like Uganda, ever before in your life?
No, actually, I did want to come to the continent of Africa, but I wasn't too familiar about Uganda. I was familiar about East Africa, but not Uganda specifically. But now that I'm here, I mean, I have nothing but love for the country, love for the people. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I feel like family.
So before coming to the country, what are some of those few things that you heard about the country, like the Pearl of Africa?
Well, I've heard some positive things and I've heard some negative things, but ultimately, that's exactly. I think staying positive is the most important thing, and I've heard that you guys are a very happy people, that you guys are very positive, that you have absolutely amazing food, that you will give the shirts off of your back to help people, and that you are very tight-knit, family-oriented people, and I have witnessed all of that here, and also just that the land itself is just absolutely beautiful.
So talking about the food, you've talked about the food, the people, hospitality and all that. Have you tasted any of our food?
I have. So I am vegan, which means that I don't eat meat at all, but and I've been that way for maybe a couple of years now, but I'm not like strictly vegan. My wife is, but I'm not. So about 95% or so of my diet is vegan. Now, that being said, with all of the delicious dishes that were being served, I had to try some of those dishes, just a little bit, little pinches of meat and things like that. Absolutely delicious.
You tried matoke, kaunga,
Explain to me what that is, because I make
bananas?
I have. They're like they were boiled or yeah, really good. Really good. Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah.
Bad enough you've traveled with your wife, but you would have seen about the beautiful ladies around the country, the young-looking ladies. But away from that, let's go to the to the award and then the concert. First time coming to the Pearl of Africa.
Yes.
First time performing on the concert. How has been the experience?
It's been absolutely amazing, and I just want to thank Eddie Kenzo for giving me the opportunity to come here and perform at Eddie Kenzo Fest and to perform the record that we did together. It was absolutely fantastic. My expectations were to have no expectations, and
That's amazing.
I think I went the right route, because I had no clue that 100,000 people would be in that audience, and that is the biggest audience that I've ever performed in front of.
Oh, really?
And I am just so honored that.
How did it feel, coming out of the backstage and then coming onto the stage and then all that and seeing amazing and so many people around the place?
It was pure adrenaline, and I feel like as an artist, sometimes you just lose yourself in the music, so it just goes so fast, it goes so quickly, but it was an experience I'll never forget.
Yeah. So taking you back to the trail, you meeting Eddie Kenzo at the Grammys that week, how was the experience? Was he hospitable? Was he friendly? Or you just bumped into each other like artists? What's up?
So I sat down in my chair, and then, because our chairs were assigned, and he just so happened to be assigned to sit next to me.
Oh, really?
And from there, I just started speaking to him. He was speaking to me, and we just caught a vibe with one another. Very, very laid back, very cool guy. Like, you would never, ever, ever suspect that he is who he is, like you know what I mean? So he doesn't give that persona. Very humble, very respectful, and I can appreciate that. And I think that it has to do with where he's from, coming from the streets of Uganda, and knowing what it feels like to be underneath, and now being on top. I think he's very sensitive to that, as am I, being from the ghettos of Chicago. I know what it feels like to be underneath. So now to be rising and to be on top, it's like that's all the more reason why I want to be as respectful as possible to other people, regardless of what walk of life they come from.
Yeah. So many people wouldn't know how many records you have behind your name. Yeah, how many? Let's take a look. How many records do you have behind your name? some of those people know Gimme Love only
Yes.
because it's your first time on the country and your first time in Uganda. So let's go back on your music career. How many of those are we talking about?
Okay, so I can't put a number on it, but I can put a number on the albums that I have, right?
Okay.
So I recorded 2 albums which released only in Japan, and they went #1 on the iTunes chart in Japan, sold in over 1,300 stores in Japan, and I think I sold somewhere around like 40 or 50,000 copies of my first album and my second album in Japan. Ended up with over 135 million streams in China, which was absolutely crazy. I didn't expect that to happen.
Man, that's so big.
Then I released my album Eden prior to, and that was my debut U.S. album. But prior to that, I did have a couple other records that I released and some music videos. But Eden was probably the biggest one for me because that was my debut U.S. album, and it charted on the Billboard top chart for R&B, and it charted in the top 40. So that was like a huge accomplishment. And now Give Me Love, it's just the icing on the cake because it also charted in the US on the Afrobeats chart, I believe number 36. So it's all glory be to God, be to the Most High for all of the opportunities that he continues to bless both myself and Eddie with.
Okay, as a young artist growing up on the streets of Chicago and all that and experiencing different street life, let's talk about drug addiction and use of drug and abuse around artists, around the industry, around music industry, also you the celebrated people around the world. What is your take on that? Because so many people think to make it in life, they have to first, do drugs and all that and everything that is going on around the world. I know you know about that. So what is your take about that?
I think that it's very sad when people end up getting addicted to any type of drug, and I think ultimately you probably should stay away from it if you are a recording artist because we live a very fast life, whether it be waking up early, going to bed late, not getting any sleep. Like even right now, I didn't get any sleep. I've been up for over 24 hours.
Really?
Yes.
What have you been up to?
Well, you tell me what.
That's fascinating.
But I've been up for over 24 hours, and I think that a lot of times artists don't necessarily use drugs because they just want to feel good. It's because they're trying to self-medicate. They're trying to make sense of, okay, well, right now I feel really sleepy. I need to be more energetic. Or right now I'm too energetic and I need to come down. And then that can just be a really bad gateway to something that...
Have you ever used?
No, I
Never in your life? Okay.
No.
So as we come to the conclusion of this interview and talking about your music career and then drug abuse and then around in Uganda and East Africa, let's talk about charity. Have you been involved in any charity work ever before?
Yes, I have.
How has it been?
So it's been absolutely fantastic. For me, I started something called the Holiday Cheer Tour in the U.S. where during the wintertime, particularly the Christmas season, I go from hospital to hospital across the U.S. and I sing to less fortunate children. And then I also I bring like a Santa bag and I tell them like, hey, Santa brought you some gifts early this year. He told me just specifically about you, and I let them pick from that bag.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. It's super cool. And then also, I like to go to different schools, particularly in Chicago, and give back to the community, be inspirational in that way. Oh, okay. Be inspirational in that way, and even here in Uganda, the Fire K Stars, they performed with me at the Eddie Kenzo Fest, and I'm trying to figure out ways in which I can kind of take them in or under my wing and give back. So I'm really excited that once I do come back to Uganda, I told them I want to put them inside of one of my music videos. I want to make sure that that they're okay. So and there are other initiatives and things like that we're working on.
As we end year 2020, as we come to everything, it's coming to the end of the year. What are some of the good times you've had in this year, and what are some of the bad times you've had in this year as an artist?
Oh, as an artist, well, I mean, there are a lot of ups and downs. Not everyone loves you, right?
Yeah, true.
And that's just a reality of when you are a recording artist.
Yeah.
But I try and stay as positive as possible because ultimately you have to choose to smile in life. You have to choose to be happy. Yeah. Happiness is a choice. Yeah. So me moving to LA, there's been a lot of firsts. This is in 2022. moved to LA,
Okay.
so that's the first. First time in Africa.
That's a big one.
First time in Uganda.
That's a great one.
First time performing in front of 100,000 people.
Fabulous.
And first time being a Grammy nominee.
Wow, and that's like heavenly.
Yeah. Sure.
Then do we? Okay, I won't go to the bad side because the good side has really been huge. Yeah. So next year, what should your fans in Uganda, out of Uganda, Africa, worldwide expect from you, man?
Well, I'm working on an Afrobeats project. And that project will be featuring a plethora of different Afrobeats artists, both from Uganda and just the diaspora. One of which obviously is Eddie Kenzo for Give Me Love. And then we have Oxlade.
Oh, you have Oxlade on the record.
Yes, that song is already out.
That's good.
Yes, it's called One and Only.
I need to listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that song is out.
Yeah.
And then I have a couple of other artists whose names I won't mention just yet because that is still in the working.
Surprise,
but yes, but it's going to be a fantastic body of work, and I look forward to what the fans have to say about it.
Okay, then lastly to your manager, and I would show you guys the manager in the camera, but today no, maybe next time because she's a little bit reserved, so spare her for today. So any last words to your kids, to your manager, and everyone and your fans?
To my manager and beautiful wife, I love you to death. To my children, Matthew Jr., who's 9, and Athena, who's 7, and Noah, who's 5. I love you guys to death, and I'm doing all of this for you. I do this for my family. I do this for God. I do this for the people, and that is what means the most to me.
What's your best trending song right now, away from your songs?
Oh, Give Me Love.
All right, peace out. We love you.
Oyagala omukolo gw'enjawulo gubeere n'ebijjukizo mu nnyumba yo? Kankwanjulire ba King Montage Photo Studio. Ffe bakafulu mu kkuba ebifaananyi n'okukola video. Olina wedding, birthday party, kukyala, nika, baby shower, photoshoot oba music shoot na buli kimu kyonna ky'oyagala. Ffe tusobola okuwa ebijjukizo ebirungi eri ebirooto byo. Ate nno mwana wattu kusintiiza omuntu wa bulijjo. Tusange Bannankulabe ku Bitaala ku Prime Tower Level 3 Room D04. Okumanya ebisingawo tukubire ku nnamba zino: Note 7 Note 2 Note 4 25 oba Note 755 3 731 oba Note 777 Note 23 Note 5. King Montage Photo Studio. Ffe tusobola okuwa ebijjukizo ebirungi ate nno mwana wattu kusintiiza omuntu wa bulijjo.